You guys see white? Yeah, you see white again? Second load in a row I'm doing with this guy here. Didn't have a chance to replace my alternator on the van this weekend because I was out of town. We went with the family to a little getaway for a couple days. And a Monday morning, a load pops up from Spokane, home base, going to Tequila. And of course, I bid it as a round trip and there's nobody else here. And we got it. And so I'm thankful that there is nobody here because I get to make the money. But on the other hand, today you guys will see what kind of a struggle it is, or maybe a struggle for some people, but not all people. With chains, got chains with me. So as of right now, on the Lookout Pass, you have to have chains or all-wheel drive. So unless you're all-wheel drive, you got to have chains on, even in the little vans, even in cars, whatever it is. So business is booming for the DOT because the tickets, as of like 6 years ago, I've gotten one over there for $500 for no chains, and you can't move. It's not like you get a ticket and keep going. No, you have to have somebody bring you chains or wait until the chain requirement is lifted. So if you guys are traveling to Seattle through Lookout Pass or from Seattle in the wintertime through Lookout Pass, you guys got to understand that you have to have chains in your vehicle, otherwise you ain't going anywhere, even if you're in a little van. So you got to be prepared. This thing is bare, as you guys can see, as a lot of new drivers actually. You guys have bare vans. I don't know how you do it. So much noise here, so cold in the summertime, so hot. I mean, it's insane. I started working on this thing, did the roof, did the back fully insulated, and then I dropped it because nothing fits in this van normally. It really doesn't. So my son's using it, like I told you guys in the previous video, for his work, and it's a backup van for me. And finally now, over the last 2 years, I get to use it as a backup. So just backup, that's all it is. Okay, I'm gonna load this thing up and get going because I wanna make sure I still deliver today, and I don't know what the passes are gonna be like. Oh, by the way, I do want to stop by Firestone. There's a Firestone a few blocks away. I want to see if they have snow socks, because supposedly when I spoke to the officer last time, you're okay to use snow socks instead of chains on the little vehicles, but it supposedly in Lookout Pass out here in Washington State, it does not work for semi-trucks. I've seen them using them, but I don't know, I didn't see them getting pulled over with them. But he said the snow socks will work for the small vehicles, but on semi-trucks still have to have chains. I brought my chains. We'll see if I have to use them, but I didn't get the rubber pieces, so either way I'm going to Firestone. If they have snow socks, great. If not, then I guess I just have to, put these on and waste my time. I got my big snowsuit on, over there, my boots, I got a hat over there, because you do have to lay down in the snow to put these on, connect them, all that stuff, so you are going to be wet. All right, let's load this up and get going. You guys saw the process. First time I got caught up on these hooks, so I had to go a little lower. Got caught up on this guy. Didn't let me do it, so I had to go a little lower because it was sitting on top of this. Anyways, had to readjust my ramp. All right, that's it. Strapped in. So is my ramp. Time to go to the tire store real quick. I still have to print paperwork along the way too, because I didn't grab my little printer. That's what I messed up on from the other van. That's what happens with all your stuff, and I really mean all your stuff is in the other vehicle. But hey, kind of what happens when you're using it in emergency situations. At least I have the luxury opportunity, or whatever you want to call it, to use a different vehicle for this, because otherwise I would be out of money today. Well, not out of money, but I wouldn't be making any money today as far as driving goes. It'd just be dispatched, that's it. E-Track's the easy way, you guys saw that. E-tracks, the metal on the sides, left and right. You guys see that? That's called E-track. I get a lot of people asking me, what is the metal stuff? You know, is that required? No, it's not required, but it's the best way to tie anything down, especially anything that moves, cases on wheels. We deal with all kinds of freight, so especially on pallets, because pallets that will be heavy, and if you got like 2 or 3 of them, you know, the back ones, the ones that are going to be sitting all the way in the front over here, those pallets are going to be a pain to move to get out all the way in the back. But if you guys have these E-tracks, wood on metal slides really, really easy compared to wood on wood. So it's really nice to have them. I mean, seriously. So a lot of you guys don't have them. A lot of people don't even bother putting the wood floor in your van, so you just let the whole floor underneath get scratched and, you know, get ruined and all that stuff. But hey, that's up to you. And a lot of people are driving bare vans and sleep in hotels, but I don't know how you can just afford to sleep away all your profits in hotels and motels. It doesn't make sense. This job doesn't pay enough to like have a weekend load and spend, even if you're spending $100 with tax all in, all together, every day somewhere for 7 days, that's $700, versus having a comfortable van, a bed in there, and be able to be comfortable in there and not waste that money. That's $700 weekly you can put in your pocket. Some of you might say, well, I don't use it every day. I only use it for, you know, 4 or 5 days a week. That's still $400 or $500. That times that by 4 by a month, a good chunk of change. And especially if you have a regular, you know, normal job that you're making $2,000 a month, and so, or $2,000 in 2 weeks, however you get paid. But yeah, just so you guys know, insulating, putting a heater in, putting a fan in for the summertime, I mean, those are like the bare minimum essentials that you want to do. And have a bed in there, figure out a bed, and so you're comfortable and warm, because cold nights are coming. You guys know that cold is coming, and it's already here. And not just here, but all over the northern states. If you're planning to pick and choose and only stay south, you're going to be out of luck for loads, because there's a lot of snowbirds that don't listen. They're just waiting for a load down south, and they don't get them because there's more competition than freight out there. So people aren't moving. They're just standing around doing 1 or 2 loads a week, if even that, if they get lucky. And that doesn't pay for their stuff, even for all their expenses. But anyways, a lot of people still don't listen, so it's up to you guys. You know, the smart ones, they listen. The smart ones don't even leave the house, don't even leave home, don't even bother going anywhere, hitting the road until they have it all figured out. And that's the smart way to do it. The people that don't have the money, they say they don't have the money to do it, and they want to go out there and make money. Guess what? Those profits that you could be putting away by sleeping in your van, being comfortable in it, they're just shooting right out the door. They're shooting right out the door because why? You're spending it on hotels instead of putting that money back in your pocket, or at least having some kind of profits at the end of the week. I mean, that hotel money, that could be your weekly profit. You know what I mean? That you could be putting in your pocket. And then if you don't, then you'll never get to your destination. You'll never get to your goal if you don't save money. And you can't save money by wasting it and spending it in hotels. You guys can take that information and use it to your benefit, or just, you know, write in the comments what you dislike about what I said. Up to you. Stop by the house to check or to grab paperwork because I was driving right by. Plus I remembered I had a little bit of rubber bands for the chains, and guess what? Shop is coming along. These guys are going to sheet it today, and then hopefully do the back lean-to tomorrow, they said, and then I'll be able to get roofers out here, but hopefully all that before snow. Hopefully. This thing's a beast. I did call around, called O'Reilly, called all the tire stores, not even all of them, they try to stay away from chains too. Like Tyrama, Les Schwab, Firestone, all these guys, they don't even carry chains. They don't even stock chains. They just do simply tires and alignment, whatever, you know, brakes and all that. I figured a tire store is gonna have chains at least, or snow socks, but no, they do not. So I've been looking on Amazon while I've been driving home, and I did find some I think will work for my vehicle. I think they're like $115 and they'll be here tomorrow if I order them. So I think I'm gonna order up a set and see how they do, because seriously, this is gonna be a 5-minute job versus putting chains on, laying down under the vehicle. The chains that I have require you to like lay down under there and kind of put them on and get them snug and all that. Just the way that these are designed, the ones I have. Obviously there are, you know, other chains, like real chains. Mine have a cable on the outside, a thick cable, really thick, and then chains on the inside, and they get tangled often and all that. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to work with. And like seriously, literally guys, if you guys run the tires that I normally run, not on this van, but on the Sprinter, the tires that I run, I've been in all kinds of situations that these guys have never even dreamt about. I've been in ice, I've been in snow, I've been in deep snow, almost 2 feet tall, without being plowed. I've been in all kinds of crazy situations. I've been in the freezing rain, everything. And so far, Lord has blessed me, and I've been blessed with those and have never had any problems. I mean, yeah, I've caught bridges to where, you know, I've been sliding and my rear end would, you know, put me sideways once in a while, but that's kind of my mistake, you know, that's just me. You got to be careful when you're going over bridges, just like the one I just did, and bigger bridges in Montana, they all freeze over. It doesn't matter how well the road is treated. Even if they treated it, it's never really enough. On the bridges, you guys got to be careful if you're doing bridges. That's one of the main things you guys got to slow down for, is bridges. Always slow down in front of a bridge. And in Montana, it's really easy to know if it's bare pavement and it's a bridge coming up. The bridge is actually a different color of asphalt versus regular asphalt, because I think regular is more reddish, and on the bridges they use a little more of a greenish, or it could be vice versa, the other way around, but it's usually a different color asphalt. I don't know why. Maybe if you guys do road work, you could tell me why, but that's the case. That's how it works. So fingers crossed that the chains required will be lifted, and I won't really even have to mess around with chains today. But if I do, you know, it's part of the job, I guess. Kind of part of what you do. And you guys got to be prepared for that. If you're coming into the western states out here in the snow, yeah, we do have chains required in the passes. The Reno pass from Sacramento to Reno, that one often has chains required on that. Montana one never has in all these years. They usually take care of it really good on the Idaho side and on the Montana side. Probably even more on the Montana side, but Idaho does a great job as well. And you know, like the Butte one out there and the Hangman in Oregon, or Deadman Pass, I'm sorry, in Oregon, that one they take care of really well too. And if it's not taken care of, they never do chains required on smaller vehicles. At least I've never been caught up in that. So I just know that ours, if you guys are coming this way to Washington State, be careful, because you at least want to throw some chains on or some cables. But I wouldn't even recommend cables. Those things you can only do 5-10 miles an hour maybe. And I've seen a lot of people ruin their vehicles because those cables, they suck, they're thin, they just rip. And when they rip, they're going to tear up all the insides. They could rip your brake line. Your fender liner will be all torn up and out of there. And I've seen it on regular front-wheel drive vehicles when they put them on. I've never really seen anybody use it on rear-wheel drive, but some drivers showed me their chains, and they're like, oh, I got some chains. They showed me that, and it's a little cable, really thin with, I don't know what's on there, a couple pieces of metal on there. Those suck, guys. Do not buy those. Seriously, that's a disaster waiting to happen if you put those on, because last thing you want to do is be somewhere up in the pass, have that thing rip. By the time you realize it ripped, it's ripping up all kinds of things. Your wheel sensor wires, all, you know, your ABS sensors out there, and the main thing is it could rip your brake line and you're going to be out of brakes, you won't even know it. And then it's a definite tow, because nobody's going to come out and have the right part for you to do a brake line repair. It's not like an airline on a semi-truck where, you know, they know what's going on with that. On a cargo van, it's going to be a bigger problem, because these repair people that do semi-truck repairs, they have all the parts for semi-trucks. They don't have parts for ProMasters, Sprinters, or the Ford Transits. So just, you know, I always try to give you guys the most and best advice. I get criticized for it a lot, but hey, you know, you could be driving for 20 years and never deal with any kind of a bad situation. Never really break down over the road where you might need this stuff. But me, dealing with the dispatch side as well, I know what happens to drivers, because we deal with a lot of drivers. And over the 10 years in business, all kinds of things have happened. I've had drivers run over a piece of something in the road where he says, it was in the middle. It was a little piece of something, just looked like a piece of metal, and heavy metal. And he ran over it, and it ripped out his driveline. Oh, ripped out his driveline, like seriously ripped it out. And he lost his driveline, had to get towed, and after that, I don't even know where he ended up. He didn't really even come back to work. So it's, you know, can set you back a lot. And once you sit in a, you know, in a hotel somewhere for a couple of weeks, it's a definite problem. Yeah, you could afford to maybe, I would just fly home and then fly back, do it that way. But, you know, if somebody doesn't really want to do that, then you're sitting pretty much in a hotel for a week or two until the van gets fixed, however long it takes for that shop to do it for you. And you got to have money and all kinds of things. So you guys got to be careful what you run over in the road. When I see something in the road, I try to go around it, like any way possible. Do not run things over in the road. Even if it's just slivers of tires, like semi-blown tire pieces, even if it's just crap like that, do not even run that over, because that can get picked up and rip something else up underneath. You don't want to deal with that. Driving through here, you guys might say, well, what kind of snow are you talking about? What kind of chains? Sunny and everything, look at that. But I just looked at the pass, and they just finally lifted the chains required. It was on until now. They finally cleared it up. Look at this. There's the worst parts. And there it is, and then clear again. And then bam, look at that. After you get off on the bottom, look at that. So, for now, hopefully for the next 2 hours until I get there, nothing's going to happen with the weather, and I can fly through there, hurry up, unload, and then fly back home without putting chains on. Because honestly, how it works is they want 20 miles of chains on. It's about 20, I think it's about 20 miles is what it comes out to. 20 miles you're supposed to put chains on. It takes you about 20 minutes, half an hour to pull over, you know, get dressed for the occasion, put them on, get undressed, maybe change shoes and whatever you're wet in, and then go. But you can only drive about 15 to 20 miles an hour, depending on what kind of traffic is there, depending on how, if some of the lanes are closed or not, if somebody got stuck or pulled over, and then it could be just one lane or whatever. So in the end, technically, it usually, when I'm with my, I guess, luck or whatever you want to call it, I'm usually stuck there doing about 2 hours. By the time I put them on, by the time I, you know, pass the certain area, by the time you take it off, 2.5 hours sometimes. You lose 2.5 hours during that place where, through that little part where you're supposed to pull over, put them on, then drive all the way over, and then you take them off at like exit 42 or something like that. either 42 or 47. You're supposed to put them on like way, like somewhere around where that one lake is. So that whole thing, doing slow driving and all that, because you can't speed with chains. You can't drive 35, 55, none of that. No, that doesn't work. They're going to fly off and rip everything off. So I'm happy now. I just checked the app. We're good. And same thing goes for all the other roads that you guys want to, you know, look at ahead of time. I mean, it's not anything to be concerned about, or, you know, tell your dispatch, oh, look at that, it looks like the roads are bad and blah, blah, because things can change, you know, by the minute. The de-icer could be put down, roads could get scraped, and, you know, restrictions lifted if there are any. Or closed roads could be not closed anymore. And our thing is, if you guys didn't know, the way it works in expediting is if the roads are open, we got to keep going. The only thing that might sometimes help is if it's black ice. If it's really black ice, not just slippery, not just slush, but if it's black ice, then in those situations we do most likely pull over, because with black ice you can't, you know what I mean, you can't deal with black ice. There's really no way around it. So if it's black ice, we need pictures, we need documentation, all that stuff. We need to see some wrecks, so that way we can send it to the broker and have them show their customer, and their customer approves of us pulling over or doing, you know, agreeing with what our plan is. But like I said, it's not something that we can just say, okay, pull over, that's it, we can't do anything. Or a driver decides, oh, I'm pulling over, I don't feel comfortable driving in this weather. Guys, if you don't feel comfortable driving in winter weather conditions, this job's not for you. You might have to go and, you know, figure out a way to load yourself, get your own loads and all that kind of stuff, because honestly, our company, me, I don't put up with that. We don't work with drivers who all of a sudden they see snow or whatever and they're, you know, snowbirds and can't drive in it. We don't work with drivers like that. Other companies, I'm not sure, but I just know from my 10-year experience, I know for a fact that we've been in trouble where drivers said, oh no, it's so slow, and complained the whole way of driving, and then they make us pull over, they take the load away, whatever the charges are, again, from whoever else to come and recover your load. They'll send another unit, the load will be recovered, broker's going to want another piece of work because of money on top of, you know, whatever they're making. Anyways, we've had a driver drive cross country from Washington State all the way down to the bottom of Missouri. He was going to Florida. It was bad weather. We were complaining to the broker, telling him it's slow and this and that, updating him. In the end, what happened was all the way to Missouri. I don't remember how many miles it was. Driver drove all that. Then they said, okay, pull over. We're gonna send somebody else out to grab the load. And we're like, well, we're already done with all the bad stuff, you know, already past all the winter driving. And basically they sent out another truck, and then they said that they said that they charged so much money that we cleared all those miles and still had to owe them another $600. And they took it out of our other load that we did for them. And we do not work with them after that anymore, but it can happen to where you get charged even extra money. Even money on top of what you drove, you know what I mean? Somebody might think, well, I drove those miles, so I'm going to get paid for it. No, not if we failed. So, something else to think about. I know I've probably mentioned that story before, but it's a true one. It says slush in places, traction tires advised. Same thing on the app, it says traction tires advised. I'm seeing snow already right now, so we're getting into that zone. And I'm just wanting to get through here just to, you know, hurry up and drop this off today because I got things I need to do with the shop. I got framers finishing tomorrow. As of right now, my wife says that they're almost done with sheeting the roof, and then they're gonna do a lean-to starting today probably, and then finishing it tomorrow, and that's it. And we're having snow in the forecast as well, so I need to get that thing covered, at least papered before the snow comes. But anyway, I need a roof on it ASAP. The whole project got delayed. I kind of got screwed with a few people. Well, they screwed me as far as wait times and other things that delayed the whole project for months. So I should have technically been done with everything. You know when? I'll tell you when. I should have technically been done with everything end of summer, like sometime mid-August or maybe late August at the very, very, very latest. But that didn't happen, so here we are. Here we are dealing with covering it when it's, this kind of weather. Kind of crazy, huh? What can you do? Anyways, still got to get a electrical permit for the shop. I was gonna maybe delay with it, but I think it's best to just get it and have an electrician come out and actually get it all done now versus later. Anyway, I was kind of debating on a few things, what I want to do with it, how I want things done, and things like that. But there's nothing to debate about. Just gotta go and get it done. And, money's money. Money's money. Look at that, looking beautiful. I'll turn it on when we get a little more beautiful here in a bit. Look at that. Oh yes. This is why I love this job. Sunshine 20 minutes ago. Now all of a sudden, you're driving in snow and slush and this beautiful weather. Winter weather conditions. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. This is why this job is so awesome. Because just a few hours later, you could end up in a winter wonderland. The beautifulness in the middle of the mountains. With all kinds of excitement that you don't even know what's going to happen the next few minutes. Not like a boring old factory or, something else kind of job. Look at that. But hey, from doing this and on the other end, not just driving, but from dispatch world as well, there's a lump sum of people who get out, get in the snow, and then they hurry up and change their mind about doing this. So you never know. Winter's winter, and you got to keep going. You gotta keep going. Just because you're not comfortable, driving in the snow doesn't mean that you could just pull over and wait it out for the whole winter, or wait it out for a day or two. That's not how this works. This is transportation. It's like a firefighter going, well, no, that fire, I'm not going in there. I'm afraid of fire. I'm not gonna go in there. You gotta go, and we gotta go. Same thing, you know what I mean? This is just absolutely beautiful. I think it says 45. I'm doing like 65. Gotta slow it down just a little bit. Yeah. Here's the beautiful pass, Snoqualmie Pass. We're getting a nice snowpack. And then, the weather can change, and then it could be raining, and all this could be gone in a day or two. Things work around here. But yeah, if you guys watch some of those other videos from like years ago, you'll see that the snowpack over here, sometimes it's even taller than my 9-foot van, so they get quite a bit of snow. They get big tunnels when you're driving through. It's like this guy's in a hurry somewhere. In a hurry to fly off the road. Empty here. Now it's time for me to hurry up and get home, because who knows when it's gonna start getting bad out there again in the pass, in the snow. And if it's gonna snow harder or not, those guys, if they decide to do their whole little shebang again. Maybe they didn't make enough money yet. Maybe they did. Who knows? I don't know. But they could pull that whole thing of chains required anytime. So we ain't gonna go through that. Hurry up and get over the pass and keep going home. Not waiting for anything here. I mean, it is 2:38. Things usually slow way down about this time too, just because most brokers and their customers are on the East Coast mostly. So around 3 o'clock things really like die off everywhere, all over the place, when it comes to dispatching and load posting and all that kind of stuff. As soon as when it's 3 o'clock Pacific time, that means it's already 6 o'clock Eastern time. So things are way slow. You never know. I mean, we still sit, we still look, we're still hopeful. Hopefully we can get stuff for drivers, but it just gets really, really, really slow. And usually when it's not actively bidding time, like it normally is, basically what happens is we renew vehicles, every couple hours on the post where we post vehicles. So usually if there is something decent after hours, then the broker actually looks up at who's out there and then calls his favorites and, offers something in the middle of the night or in the evening, whatever. But it's so, like, after COVID, that whole thing, pretty much almost died off. And it's only when somebody breaks down or whatnot, but a lot of businesses stop working 24 hours. They just kind of learn that, they can be productive with the regular hours, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, get out of town time. Weather here is good, no rain, but still all wet, so hopefully the passes, let's check the passes together. Let's look at this. Nope, that's not what I want. Let's check this. Renew. Snoqualmie. Traction tires advised. Oversized vehicles prohibited. So we're still good. Snow and slush on the roadway. 32 degrees. My main thing is basically it's 32, so it's not really, when it comes down the ground, it's not really sticking because they've cleaned it all up. They put de-icer down and everything else. So I want to hurry up and get over there, over the pass before, why before? Before the temperature drops and it starts sticking to the ground. So that's what I want to do. I want to get out of Dodge. Plus I want to get out of here before the traffic hits too. So you guys know me, I ain't a complainer. I just know what's going on in the world of travel, in the world of a certain time and all the different places. Overdoing this for so many years, I know where there's traffic. I know how long it usually takes. I know how long it could take, and if there's a, God forbid, some kind of an accident or something else, you could stand for hours and hours in traffic. So, me, I'm just, using my experiences to my benefit. That's all. And I'm sharing them with you. So some of you guys might think that I'm complaining or something else. No. It's not complaining. It's me using my expertise over the years to my advantage. That's it. And I'm sharing them with you as we go. So that way you guys don't think that it's, just some guy talking, trying to complain about his job. No. Everybody knows you got to put your time in, you got to work, and you get, paid for what you do. That's how it works. But when you're doing it for so long, you develop expertise and experience. And hopefully you guys will too, if you're brand new. Let's go see what's up in the pass.